Hi everyone, welcome to the Pretty Coffee with Kristin show. I'm outside today. I've decided to go with no hat, and I'm going to be talking to you today about we do what we know. And I have a couple stories to explain what I mean by that. We do what we know, and we all do it. We do it for generations. Sometimes we do it without thought, and we all do it. So I'm going to start with a story about the woman that and it came time for her daughter to start hosting Easter, so the daughter, she also started cutting the ends off the ham. And one Easter morning, the daughter said to the mother, why do we cut the ends off the ham to put it, to put it in the oven? And the mother said, ask Grandma. So she asked Grandma. They're all sitting there, and she said, why do we cut the ends off the ham? And the grandma said, because when I got married, I had one pan and the ham didn't fit in it, so I always cut the ends off. So here they were 3 generations later doing the same thing without thought because the grandma didn't have a big enough pan. We all do that. Do you do that in your life? Because we do. I have 3 sons, and they're all in their 20s now, and I had a similar story. When they were little, when they were 5, 3, and 1, they all got the chicken pox at the same time. So I knew that if you put baking soda in the water, it helped with the kids, so it didn't itch so much. So I went to the grocery store. I think it was like 10 cents a box. I got all the baking soda I could carry, took it home, and during the day I would put the boys in the bathtub, several times a day, and I'd put them in there with their toys, and they would get in, and they saw me put the baking soda in, so it made sense to them because they didn't feel well, so I put it in the bathtub. Well, this went on for years. Every time when they would get sick, they would say, Mom, get the baking soda. So I'd put it in the bathtub. They'd take a bath, and they thought it made them feel better. This went on into their teens. So finally one day I had to tell them, because I didn't want them going out in the world and telling their wives and just go in the world and saying, hey, we put baking soda in, and they look like they're goofy. So I had to tell them, there's no basis to that. It's, I told them the story. So when you had the chicken pox, I put it in there, and this is why. But this went on for years and years. And if I wouldn't have told them, that's what they would have believed for their whole life, because that's what you do. It's what you do. They didn't question it, because it's what I told them. So it was just in our family. So we all do these things, but not only we do things like that we've been doing things that we've done back when we were in our teens, in our 20s and our 30s and our 40s, and we believe things that may or may not serve us anymore, but we keep doing them and we don't think about them. I invite you today to start thinking about the things that you do that may not make sense anymore. They may have never made sense to begin with, but question it. I invite you to consider to look at what you're doing in your life and see if you're doing things out of habit, or if you're doing things because you were just told that's how it was, or if it may be something you made up for yourself years ago, you're still doing it. Take a look at that. Take a look and see what you're doing. Does it make sense? Question it. Ask your mom, why are we putting baking soda in the bath water? You might get some funny answers. Let me know if you do this. Thank you so much for taking the time with me on the Pretty Coffee with Kristin show. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can find me at Create a Pretty Life on Facebook, and I will be here tomorrow at 11 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Go do something nice for yourself today, and go do something nice for someone else, and make someone else feel pretty and pay pretty forward. Thank you so much. Mwah.